Hey, Algebra 1, Catlin here with your help for your cooldowns. And you probably don't need a lot of help for this one because we kind of answered it already in class, but I'll just go over it for those that were absent as well. What information does a correlation coefficient tell you about the data in a scatter plot? Well, in class, it was the R term that we noticed. And we noticed a couple of things, and you probably want to get this down in your explanation. Uh, the R tells us it's a number that ranges. It ranges from -1 to 1, to a positive 1, sorry. So it ranges from -1 to a positive 1. The closer that it is to 1 or -1, the more accurate it is. You could say something about that. And the closer that it is to 0, the less accurate it is. And when I say it, I'm talking about it is a way to measure the accuracy of a line of best fit on a scatter plot. So it's a way to measure the accuracy of a line of best fit. It ranges from -1 to 1. Closer to ones, it's more accurate, slower residuals, and closer to 0, less accurate. Also, the other thing is it tells you slope. You could talk about how it relates to slope. So talk about its range, talk about its accuracy, talk about its slope. Okay. Don't just write these things that I wrote down. Write a well formed sentence. Some of you did that in class already very well. All right, number 2, which value best estimates the value for the correlation coefficient of the scatter plot? Well, we can rule some out because it's going downhill, right? Since it's going downhill like this, we know that it's going to have a negative correlation coefficient. So that rules out this one, and this one. Okay. Which leaves us with 3 choices. All right. This one right here, because it's -1, the low end of our range, that one would be like perfect. That one would have dots on the line exactly all the way throughout. All right. This one right here would be the worst, right? This one would be hard to tell that it formed a line anyway at all, right? And this -0.8 right here, this would kind of be the middle of the road, right? Which is kind of what I think we're seeing here, right? The dots aren't all on it, but it's not so bad that it needs to be close to 0 where the dots are scattered all over the place. I think this is probably what this one's going to be. So have that in your explanation. Don't forget to do that, okay? You need a sentence that talks about this here. We already know which one you're going to go with, but have a good way of explaining why you think it's that one and not the other two ends of the spectrum. All right? And don't forget to determine or to talk about why we deleted the positive versions. Okay? And that's your help for today's cool down. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.